Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and today we're going to continue Beast Quest, Claw the Giant Monkey. Chapter 4, Claw on the Attack. How are you all doing today? Hope you're doing well. Tom peered up into the canopy of trees. It was almost impossible to see anything against the glare of the sun. Leaves rustled and brushed against each other. The dark jungle sounded as if it were laughing at its visitors. A stench of old meat and sweat drifted down through the branches. Stronger than the sickly scents of the jungle flowers. Tom peered up again, but it was no use. The beast was too high up. If only I could see more clearly, he said, frustrated. Then he remembered the golden helmet. Quickly he pulled it from Storm's saddlebag and put it on. Gazing through the slits of the visor up into the treetops again. Now he was able to see the gorgeous greens and vivid colors of the highest point of the jungle. Then Tom spotted the beast. He felt his eyes widen in disbelief. Claw was an enormous monkey. His chest was as wide as Storm was long, and his limbs were thicker than some of the tree trunks around them. He sat hunched among the branches, and a hideous creature with a leather-looking claw at the tip of his tail. His long snake-like tail. Huge, hairy black arms, legs, and feet ended in vicious curved claws. His face was covered in matted black hair, but his squashed snout was hairless. Drool hung in ropes from his long teeth, and his fierce yellow eyes were trained directly on Tom. He knew they had to run. There was no choice. Jump up here, Elena, Tom cried, leaping onto Storm and throwing the helmet back into the safety of the saddlebag. Elena flung herself into the saddle behind him, scrambling for a grip, and Tom wheeled the stallion around so hard that Storm reared and nearly fell. But before the station could take them to safety, a current of twigs, branches, and vines plunged down from the canopy. Knocking Tom and Elena from the saddle, Claw gave a screech of triumph. Tom tried to struggle to his feet, but the weight of the twisted vines was pressing down on him. Like an enormous tangled net, Storm neighed in terror and Silver snarled. I can't move, Elena cried. The more they twisted, the more tightly the vines drew around them. The stench of the beast was everywhere. Tom's arms were pinned down. He couldn't reach his sword. Claw reached again. Screeched again. Then, to Tom's horror, the beast's long clawed tail swung down and plucked Elena into the air, ripping the tangled vines away from her with ease. Tom! Elena screamed. No! Tom cried. He fought to escape, but there was nothing he could do. Elena kicked and yelled as the beast pulled her up into the trees. Her arms flailed, hitting out uselessly at her captor. Tom! She screamed again. Help me! Then there was a sudden awful silence. Where had the beast taken her? With a snarl, Silver ripped himself free with his teeth, before tearing at the vines around Tom. That's it, boy. That's it, boy, Tom shouted, struggling to free his arms. Nearly there. At least he could move his arms. Bursting free, he withdrew his sword and thrust it furiously into the air. While there's blood in my veins, he vowed, I'll save my friend. Quickly he cut away the vines that still bound Storm's legs. The stallion waited patiently as Tom tugged him free. Claw had felt a trail. Claw had left a trail of destruction in his wake. Broken branches and scattered leaves on the jungle floor. So it would be easy to follow him. But Tom needed to approach the beast with care if he was to save Elena. Picking up the scent of his mistress, Silver drew back his head and started to howl. No! Tom cried. Running to the wolf, he patted the animal's thick fur and hushed him. Noise was the last thing Tom needed. But it was too late. Behind him, Tom heard a telltale rustling. He looked over his shoulder, hooking a protective arm around Silver. The beast's huge shadow spread across the clearing, claws back. High in the trees once more. There was no sign of Elena. Where was she? Tom tensed as the clawed tail flew down through the branches once again. He dived out of the way, but the claw violently slapped Silver and stormed to one side. And Tom lost sight of them. He hoped desperately that they were all right, and concentrated on the branches, waiting for the tail to reappear. It lashed towards him suddenly. Tom ducked, desperate to evade the cruel claw at its tip. The beast remained in the trees. It was impossible for Tom to see more than his tail. Claw gibbered and whirled his tail again. This time Tom reached out and grabbed hold of it. He held on tightly. "Come on down, you coward!" Tom yelled, tugging at the beast in an effort to bring him crashing to the ground. The great monkey simply lifted his tail, yanking off his feet. Tom went flying through the air. Tom clung on with all his strength. As Claw's tail whipped and thrashed around, the beast roared and leaped from tree to tree. Tom swung beneath him, jagged twigs and branches tearing at his clothes. The breath was knocked out of him as the beast slammed him to the trees and dragged him through curtains of vines and that scratched his face. This was it. There was no way out. He wasn't going to escape from the dark jungle alive. And that was chapter 4. Claw on the attack. I don't know why I keep apologizing after I do these videos. After I not do these videos for like a week. But I am, so just be patient with me. I will do them eventually. And ignore the dogs in the background. They won't stop even though we tell them to, so couldn't do anything about that, so well, I hope you guys enjoy my videos so far. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the bell to get notified every time I make a new video. And yeah, all this after video stuff is basic knowledge for every YouTuber, so should be basic knowledge to everyone who watches YouTube, actually. Like and hit the subscribe button if you did. To see more of my content, hit the bell, all that stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed this Beast Quest reading. I started the first book a long time ago. I don't know how long it was ago. I have a playlist on the Beast Quest book and the Great Dragon book, so if you're interested, check those out. And I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.